Alright, so we're back. Actually, I'm also going to go ahead and unplug my keyboard here since we don't need it. Well, let me go. I'm going to take off one of the audio things real quick. Don't need the speaker audio source anymore. Alright, so I'm going to set this down over here somewhere. Let me see my flashlight. I can line this up appropriately. That's too much. So just got my copy of FF10 and 10.2 HD remaster. Got that today. Been checking it out. It's actually interesting. They actually have some things in there that, and as I turn the microphone around so you can't hear me, it's being caught on this damn cable. Okay. Actually has some interesting stuff with it. Some extras, if you will. There's a whole section that's just kind of like an FMV section, cutscene section, that details kind of what happens directly after the game as far as 10 is concerned, and in between 10 and 10.2. Kind of what happens, a little bit of it anyway. Then there's also a section where you listen to the remastered audio and have the credits rolling, and it kind of has this weird thing that happens. I guess maybe it's set after 10.2. I'm not really sure on that though. I think it might be after 10.2 though, where you're essentially following around two characters that are well, you just have to listen. It's hard to explain it. But it's pretty long, though. It's like 30-40 minutes or something long. It's pretty interesting, though, because it's kind of gives a little more insight into what's going on. And foreshadows possible areas where there could have been further sequels. But anyway, let's go ahead and minimize that. So, back to the task at hand. Code blocks. So, I've had an epic struggle for the past week and a half, I think, trying to get this damn thing to run properly. The problem was that I wasn't able to get... well, there's actually a couple problems. First was that I couldn't get any of the C++11 code to work. C++ functions and whatnot. Those wouldn't work at all. Then, the second problem was that I couldn't get the linkers to link properly for SQLite 3. So what ended up happening is that I couldn't link the SQLite 3 stuff because I had to rebuild them for G++, which is essentially what I'm building things in with this. And the other problem was because of MinGW 32-bit, the latest version, 4.8.1. It's actually 4.8.2 now. But the developers of MinGW have decided to take it upon themselves to say, you know, well, toString is, you know, doesn't work for 32-bit, so we're not going to implement it, which is total BS anyway. But apparently some facet of MinGW makes it so that they can't use toString on 32-bit because it'd be too difficult to implement, and lots of people called out BS on them for it. But they just are adamant about not adding the functionality for it. So you have to use the 64-bit to be able to use toString. Now the problem here is that in order to use SQLite 3, I'd have to have a 64-bit binaries for it, and I'm not really sure how to build those. So I'd be able to use toString, but then I wouldn't be able to use SQLite, and that's the more important thing because half the program is essentially SQLite based. So what I ended up doing was going with 32-bit MinGW and just using a string stream function to kind of recreate what toString does. right now, at this very point in time here, I'm actually working on fixing a bug that was found during debugging build 4, and that was the one where your ship cargo hold would get like a invalid piece of invalid record added to it while after going to a station. Well, I found out it wasn't actually going to the station that did it. It was just reloading, saving and then reloading it. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to essentially consolidate the ship-related code into one block for both loading and saving to try and eliminate that problem. I think I may have found what was causing that, but I haven't actually tested that fix yet because I'm going to be consolidating. So what's going to happen now is that the game's going to go through and take all either the player ships stored in your ship cargo hold and or in your station inventories if they exist, and it's going to take those and do the processing for that stuff first. Because I think what was going on was that we were having so many places where PL ship, I renamed it to ships though, to go along with the theme of having more than one ship being used, put into the P-ship data table, was being dealt with in so many different places that it was kind of being, I don't know, just hammered too hard and it was causing problems or something. But I decided to make it a little bit more complicated but less complicated at the same time. Structurally, it becomes less complicated because you have less times where you have to go back in and do stuff. But it also becomes more complicated because now we have multiple calls to specific parts of the code. Like, for instance, we're calling to station now twice. But logically, it makes it a little more complicated because now we have a bunch of for loops that we have to deal with. But it also makes it less complicated because now we don't have to go through the loading process and check for a ship and also a non-ship and add them differently accordingly. You only have to look through for the inventory and cargo hold for just non-ship items. So it's a kind of a double-edged sword times 2. So double-edged, double-bladed sword, which you can quite easily fall on top of and kill yourself with. So right now, where are we even at? I don't even know where I'm at. We're in load data for data system and inventory data. So I've got this temp ship thing here because I haven't finished really dealing with this, but let's go to save first. That's where most of the work is being done at the moment. So I'm going to go up. Oh, and I also did some little bit of housework here and made it so that you only have so many dots that are used for asteroid belts and asteroids. So every dot that you see during the loading asteroid or saving asteroid phase is actually representing 200 asteroids or 10, I believe, asteroid belts. So that just kind of keeps things from getting totally just steamrolled through by periods because of these two having just massive numbers of things to load. Back down here now. So we have the ship thing here now. So what's going on is we have now a while loop that has no conditional statement. So it's just essentially an infinite executing while loop that we will kill manually. But then we have the for loop, also manual kill. So as long as, say, if I is 0, then somehow that was off, I don't know why. Of course, the tabbing on this thing is really messed up. That's one thing that this one doesn't do very well, it's the tabbing, because it has sort of an automatic thing that it does. But overall, like when I go to add things, if I want to do like the reordering like I'm doing right here, not reordering, but the process of realigning the tabs. Is that right? It seems like it's off. It is off. Before I could just go through and do the delete, enter, home, whatever thing I had, combo that I had. On this one, that doesn't really work because what happens is it just trails them off, ever going to the right on the tabs to infinity. So you have to go through and actually manually move them. Like so. So we can do this a bit faster, doing it two-handed instead of one-handed here. Damn it. So that's off by 1, 2. No, just by 1 space. Question is now, is that one off? Alright, so that one's way off. Or maybe not. But anyway, so now as we go down through here, we have the for loop here that adds a, so if I is 0 on this for loop, we do a pushback on PL ships, should be ships, and then we add all the player information. Else, if I is not 0, then we check the cargo hold and say if the cargo hold is greater than 0, so that we only check a ship that has stuff in the cargo hold, and then we check each individual element to see if it is a ship, and if it is, then we add to the PL ships, and then we do the saving of the data to that element. And the problem I think that was being caused was that we were not using PL ships.size -1 for the ship ID. We're using I or IT or something with the from the other way this code was going, and it was causing the code to put out, or no, it was using the table ID. Ship data table ID instead of the table ID for PL player ship data, P ship data, and so I think that might have been what was causing the problem for whatever reason. But again, I haven't tested the code yet, so I don't know if it's going to fix it or not. But anyway, it checks for the cargo hold for ship stored ships, then adds them to the PL ships vector. See, else if I'll just use else. The question is now is how to, I guess what we'll do is we'll say then once this is done we can just use a break after that for loop, because there's no reason to continue going through the for loop because we've already gone through all the cargo spaces. So after this one we can add a break, and that'll break us out and rake. That works. Not. That'll break us out of this for loop here and put us into the next one. Which is for stations. So you have to have stations in the G stations before we actually array our vector before we actually do anything, so we don't waste CPU cycles and cause problems like crashes. And then this loop is for the size of G stations. Then we check for the size of inventory is greater than 0, and then we do another for loop to the size of inventory. Now this one will go through multiple times to get through all the stations. And since it's the same process as up there, we are adding elements to both the PL ships vector and the SP inventory vector to put an entry in there for that, because the SP inventory SP in table is going to act like the cargo table now, and we'll just have it referencing table IDs in the player pship data table instead of actually saving all the information for a ship directly to the inventory table, the station inventory table. And we get down to the station inventory. We just save only the non-ship items, since we already have done ships. Now I'll talk more about code blocks here. I actually have you can do a custom formatting, format coloring, but you don't do it through the any of the options up here. You have to do it through a settings file. That's in your app data folder called default.cfg, I think. That has a bunch of different, I think it's XML settings in it. It's pretty complicated. It's better to take one of the, essentially this is actually based off of a one of the actually not a but an actual contributed color scheme on the CodeBlocks forum that I got and edited because I didn't like the colors it was using for some of the stuff. Let's go ahead and talk more about CodeBlocks in terms of the features. CodeBlocks is completely open source, so there are, if you find something wrong or think there's something missing that you can add, then you can actually go and commit things. Or suggest things to be added. It's also very has a lot of interesting features that you probably wouldn't see on other non-open source projects because Microsoft isn't going to put in the money for developing a code line counter or whatever like we have with here, the code statistics. So this examines your project and determines how much different things you have here. So, for example, we have 38,101 lines of code in this game right now, and that includes everything: empty lines, comment lines, code only, and code and comments. So code only lines make up 67% of my code. Code plus comment, which would be kind of like trying to find a line here that has like this. This is code and comment. That makes up, I think it was 7%. Six. 7% is comments only like this, and then 20% is white space, just empty lines. Now we got 59 files. 25,571 lines of code. That's just code only. I haven't really looked at any of these other plugins yet, like for instance the CPP check. Failed to launch it. That's interesting. What about Code Profiler? Huh. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, you actually have games. There's actually a games plugin in here somewhere. Actually, that might be it right there. Tris? What's that? Oh, Tetris. So yeah, there was a comment about this on the wiki for this one saying, you know, why shouldn't you be able to play games and code at the same time? And so you can play Tetris while you are supposedly working on things. I really screwed that one up. So it's literally a fully functional Tetris game. No audio though, obviously. Then you also have Snake on the other as the other game. I thought this was really interesting that they would add games. Oh, bollocks! Shouldn't try to line things up and talk at the same time. It's gonna be impossible to get rid of now. I'll have to get rid of the that 4 square thing first. There we go. Ah, bloody hell. They get the general idea with that. And there's also, like I was saying before, Snake, which is, of course, also that's interesting. Actually, can make it go faster. Yep. So it's the same kind of thing there. What else we got for plugins? CCCCC. Failed to launch it. I wonder what's up with this. These are supposed to be core plugins, which means that they're supposed to be supported by the developers. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. That was interesting. kind of lines things up properly. Or at least on this line, not this one. Let's see, let's go to maybe we can use that over here and fix that monstrosity of a problem I created. I'm trying to fix the tabbing. Well, that didn't do anything. Symbol table plugin. Interesting. So yeah, this essentially is code blocks here. Let's go and do some actual coding so you can see how it auto does formatting and such, tabbing and whatnot. Actually, it gets kind of annoying sometimes, but it does make things a bit quicker than in Visual Studio. So let's go over to game. So I want to add some code in that allows you to store things, or no, to allows you to take things from your ship and store them onto your into your station inventory. As we haven't done anything like that yet. Haven't added that in yet. So I actually want to go up here. I want to go down to S menu. Maybe that's what this is for, SS item. Or maybe we'll do the casino. Let's go to menu. Okay, store an item, yeah. That's what we were looking for. So, let's see, game. Go down to S item. Go to implementation. Well, I guess it's already there, so what we'll do is we'll add the casino, and that's what we'll do. So the casino is going to be literally a casino. It's going to have different types of gambling that you can do. But it's going to be kind of like have a more futuristic spin on it, if you will. There's going to be things like slot machines and poker and whatnot, but you also have things like some form of blackjack that I haven't figured out a name for yet. Mass Effect already took Quasar, so I don't think I'll be using that. S menu, where it'll have different kinds of rules. It'll be the usual, you know, try and get to 21 or less than that with 5 cards, or things like that. But you can also do things like double down on a winning, like double down on a win, and double your winnings by trying to essentially rebetting your what you just won onto the next hand. S Casino, which should not exist. Actually, yeah, it does exist, but we have to feature not yet implemented, or rather coming soon. So we want to do a call to message processing for a menu. Well, first let's make sure that the player has Zarn. So if, and there's the auto formatting you can see happen there, and then the closing parentheses, or the closing curly bracket for you. So mPlayer dot get Zarn is greater than 0. Else mpg dot mr message. Actually, we should do a count first. So, damn it. There. Click on the wrong thing. So in the message database, it'll be 2050. All right. That is Zarn. So how should we be diplomatic about it, or get the out of this place? Get the frill out of this place. So let's go, please vacate the establishment. And of course, if you choose not to, well, that won't be an option. You'll be forced to. But that's kind of maybe a funny thing. Just whoops, that's the wrong one. Have have the player be able to choose. No, I'm not leaving. Have some kind of OCP style giant robot come over and shoot you or something. I'll go and add that in now, and then we'll connect it down here, 2050. Alright, so if the player does have Zarn though, then we go in and say p choice equals mpg dot station menu casino. Of course, we'll have to add that now. Or maybe not, let me see. Yeah, we'll have to add it. So, gotta figure out where message processing is. There it is. What about the header file? Maybe that's not even open. No, it's not open, as far as I can tell. So, header file, processing, station menus, int sm casino. Alright, so count mr message 1. I believe it's 2036. Yeah, 2036. So one, say, slots. Two. We got a few extra, one extra thing there, angle bracket. So two, so one slot's 2. Let's call it that for now. And we'll have different types of poker, like the straight 5-card poker, Texas Hold'em, Texas Omaha, maybe even a custom made version, custom style of game or something like that. 4 will be roulette, and I have no clue if that's even spelled correctly. And I don't really care at the moment. It looks correct though, roulette. Let's see, what else can we put in here? So, slots, blackjack, poker, roulette. What other kinds of gambling games are there? Look at a Star Trek reference, but Domjot. Spelling not even trying to be accurate with that. That's right, craps. That's the other one I was trying to think of. So, so if P choice is less than 0, or P choice is greater than 6, we're gonna go count MR message 5 NDL P choice equals 1. P choice return P choice. Alright, so you get your choice of all this stuff. Just going to copy these over to game. So station, casino, slots, and player. SC B Jack. Actually, poker. So that's essentially how that's done. And now we'll just take the... Oh wait, we need to do one more thing here. B continue equals false. While so 0 will allow you to exit. We also need to add a B continue here as well. So now what I'm hoping we can do here is this. We select this up, and then we go up here to plugins, and sweet, it did that. Only on the selected code as well. Cool. That really will speed things up whenever I have to add things in like that. It's before on SVS, whenever you had to add in something like a loop or some sort of loop or an if statement or something, you had to go through and manually adjust the code like I was doing it before. However, with this, we can just select a spot of code that might be messed up and just do that. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. There is a shortcut I didn't know about. Actually, it's a combination keystroke. Shift K, Shift F, I believe, or maybe Shift D. That allows you to realign the tabs on either a selected block of code or on the entire file, depending on what the second keystroke is. But this is a lot simpler, I think. But yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and I'll show you how things work at the moment. I'm not gonna, let's say, open containing folder. I'm not gonna build it, but we'll go through and run the debug version here. So, interesting. Oh, I was trying to find these, I see. Let's go back to here then. Copy these. Try again. There we go. Alright, so what I have it set up for is we have a mining barge, I think. Let me see. Or no, we had the incursus, but I just put a whole bunch of space, cargo space in it, and gave it the strip miner laser through the table there. So we'll go to a planet, let's say Bryn, and search asteroid belts. Get that asteroid belt. So this is our detected mining laser statistics. At the moment, you're only able to use one mining laser. The code, what the code has had is now it's going to just be whatever the last mining laser it finds is. I'm going to add in some code so that you'll be able to pick the from mining lasers if there's more than one by the time I'm finished with this build. But this is just the basic information: the mining length in seconds, the maximum targeting distance, or mine per cycle, and so we have the first scan for asteroids. If you try to target an asteroid, it'll say you haven't scanned them yet, but it will scan them for you. And then you can go back to target asteroid. Actually, no, it hasn't, has it? I don't know why it's saying survey complete for. That's strange. Alright, so asteroid survey complete. Target. Well, that's just strange. Let's go for 2. Maybe there aren't any asteroids. I don't see how that's possible, but I guess it could be possible. Let's try a different planet. Well, there's another bug then to figure out. Maybe we'll try this one here. That one won't even run for very long. Yes, I don't know what the hell's wrong. Cancel. I'll have to take a look and see what's going on in the code. Well, I guess I won't show you to you then. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording now. Just wanted to record a little extra coding footage because some of the other stuff I recorded I don't think is going to be usable because I can't find the audio files for it. So this is kind of to replace that a bit. But I hope you enjoyed the videos. If not, then at least found it somewhat educational. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below in the comment section. And if you have not yet done so already, would appreciate it if you would subscribe to our channel. And I will see you next time. Hey everyone, this is GOL from Productions², and we're back to do just a little bit more recording for Space Crusade. Felt that we needed to do just a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and finish what we were working on the other day, which was doing the whole casino thing for the station. So we're going to create all these functions today, or most of them. And we're going to be looking up how these actual games are played and how we can work on incorporating how it would work. So let's go to Game H first, and we'll include the station functions there. So I'll come down here and say casino functions. So the casino is going to have its own, again, it's going to have its own monetary kind of thing. It's going to use chips instead of Zarn. So we need to add that down here. Alright, so let's put it at the bottom. So int station C chips. Let's see, we need some floats and whatnot. Let's see, let's go, we'll do a vector of string. So we'll need that. We'll do a, I'm not sure if vectors or arrays. Slot machines are only going to have a certain number of numbers on them, but we'll probably have multiple reels that can be switched out depending on the slot machine. So we'll make we'll have it have 4 reels on a slot machine instead of 3. Have it be a little bit more different than you know, stuff from today. Because I mean, come on, it's 4,000 years in the future. I think it's going to be a little bit different. So we'll have a. I wonder if we could do a vector of arrays. That'd be interesting to have a vector of arrays. But for now, we'll just do arrays, and then if we can do the vector of arrays, I'll switch that over. Right now, the reason I'm not going to look up and see why is because I'm uploading stuff to YouTube, and for some reason today, my connection's just totally bombing out from it. Too many lost packets. I'm not sure why. But it takes too long to go researching that, so we're just going to do arrays for now. So, slot arrays. So we'll have it. We'll have these arrays be 10 elements each. So, casino array slots 1 or slot array reel 1, or we'll just go R1. String 10. I will copy these and paste them another 2 times here. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So essentially we have 12 reels that we can choose from. We have to use 4 of them at any one time. So that's if we're going to just use a block of reels per machine, that would be a total of 3 different types of combinations, but we're going to intermix all of them together, so it's like I don't know how many tons of different possibilities. The cards will work for both blackjack, the blackjack game, and also for poker. let's see, we'll need to have an array, or well, I guess it'd be an array of numbers for the roulette table. And well, it'd be a string actually again, because we'd have red and black. So it'd be R number, B number. Or we could create a struct. No, I think we'll just go with this. And we'll use split to get the character. So we'll have R spaced in the number, so we'll split on space so we can get the R or B for that. So string station casino roulette guess roulette wheel. So how many? I mean, we'll chance it here. Give me a second here. I'm going to restart my cable modem for real quick. Let me go ahead and pause recording so it's not a bunch of dead air here. I'll see what happens with this now. If we can get this damn thing to work properly. So working on the upload and the actual connection to the internet. And we're good. Now just gotta wait for everything to update elsewhere. Alright, let's see if it actually will work now. Okay, it seems like we're back in business. Let's see what this does. I want to make sure this is still going. Come on, do something. I will come back at that. Look at that later. See what's going on with it. Roulette. All right. So. So 38 number colored pockets. All right. Okay, good. It's going good now. Let's see.